Welcome to Claiming Space, a podcast about what it really means to step forward, speak up, and lead with intention. This first season is all about women in leadership, the real stories behind the roles, the challenges, the ambition, and the moments that shape how we lead. Each episode is hosted by a Maynard Lee facilitator, sharing honest conversations about leadership as it actually shows up at work. This isn't about perfect answers. It's about insight, reflection, and the courage to own your voice. So whether you're leading others, stepping into something new, or thinking about the space you want to take up, you're in the right place. Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Claiming Space. My name is Fatima, the host for today, and I'm joined with Nithya. Welcome, Nithya.
Thank you, Fatima.
So Nithya is joining us today from KWA Analytics. She works as a principal consultant there. How are you today?
It's a sunny day, so it's a beautiful day, and meeting you is my pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. So tell me a little bit about KWA Analytics and about your role there as a principal consultant.
Sure, Fatima. Before I expand on the role, I just want to put a disclaimer over here. Whatever I express, it's my personal view. Doesn't represent the company's position. So this new role, it's probably I've started 9 months ago. And this is definitely a big step in my career. And I do, as a principal consultant, multiple different hats I have to wear in a day. That is like managing the delivery as well as my team. And I have to see stakeholder management. And on my job, I have to even learn the product as well. Apart from that, mentoring the folks. So it's more about like I'm excited about my job. And you feel like every day, no, I'm not feeling monotonous. It's really excited. That's how I feel my job.
Must be a good feeling to be able to go into work every day, feeling that joy to be there.
Yeah, and I really enjoy it. Every day I look forward to work. It's like, it's not that before this I didn't. It's a matter of now I feel like more, you have a lot of responsibilities. At the same time, you feel like that responsibilities, you should ensure that you fulfill it. And that's where I feel I'm excited about this role.
To enjoy that accountability and that responsibility then.
Exactly, because I like pressure. And so this is where people might say, you like pressure? Yeah, I do like pressure. And when it comes to the role which I play, it is pressure, but it's something I enjoy. So I don't feel that as a pressure. It comes with a lot more of managing and juggling, but I do enjoy it.
And how did you get into the consulting world?
Oh, that's a long story, but I will probably try to break it. So consulting is like I've been in this industry for 20 years. I started as a developer in a consulting company, and then I moved from India to US probably I worked there for 6 to 7 years in consulting. Then from there, I moved to UK. So I was thinking everywhere, the consulting company is the same, the role is same, what is the difference? But when you grow up in the ladder and each country has a different need, it's like you might be a successful person in a country, doesn't mean that you will get that job in other country. So example, UK, it was very difficult for me to crack a job because I think I had during that period like 12 years of experience. And I was thinking I worked in different sectors as well as different countries. I should easily crack a job. But you won't believe it. I would have applied more than 3,500 jobs.
Wow.
And at some point, it is very depressing, I would say. You feel, is it that I don't have knowledge or I'm in the wrong place? Or what should I do? Should I upskill? It's like there's a lot of question, but no one explains why they reject me. That's something which I always feel difficult. It's like whoever HR is probably hearing the podcast, it is always helpful when you give feedback so that the other person would be able to improve. Rather than if they feel a rejection will not help them to tailor their resume or what's a skill they are missing. And then from there, I've done a different jobs. I worked as an interpreter. I worked as a barista. I worked as a part-time lecturer. So there was a lot of things which I was exploring during that period until I found the right place and the right time, the right job. And that particular job really helped me in the consulting world, even though probably I'm going back and starting my career maybe from the mid-level, but the learning is important because it's not about how many years of experience you have, it's about understanding the market. I always say, look for what is missing and try to crack that market. Rather than you feel like I know only this and try to apply it, rather than that, try to upskill and apply it. And that's where I got into the UK market, and I worked on a fintech company, and that helped. And now I have probably moved 2 to 3 jobs, but still, each of the job there is a learning and something I feel has really helped me to move up in the ladder.
So, what would you say, moving over from India and then to the US and the UK, what has been the most difficult part? You mentioned that finding a job has been quite difficult, especially in the UK. Are there any other differences in terms of the sort of consultancy work that you've done and the culture, I suppose?
Yeah. There is way different in culture, I could say, is like, because India, US, and UK, if I have to put it in a comparison scale, the three are different. Like, I could say in UK, the good thing is about work-life balance. Is like how many people appreciate it, I don't know, but I really do appreciate, because I worked for some time in US and I feel I would have worked like 19-20 hours over there. So when I'm coming to UK and I feel like, okay, people are very, very nice. They do only during that stipulated hours. There could be here and there, but that is given. You feel is like you should really count your blessings. You should really feel grateful about this work-life balance. It's not easy after COVID, but still we are able to keep up to it. I did notice a positive difference, and that helps our mental health as well. And then on the culture level, over here is people have scared me. They've just said is in UK, everyone speaks Shakespeare English. Coming from in India as well as in US, you will have a different American English, and you are not going to really cope up with whatever is the British English. And there are some very personal humiliations as well. People have told is like, you have to write the grammar tenses, past, present, future, and ensure you have to speak to the people, because I don't think so you belong to UK. That's how they have criticized me and they have humiliated me. So these things really scared me whenever I'm going for any interviews or even to have a conversation. I always had self-doubts, saying, what if I make a punctuation mark issue? What if I'm not really able to see and the other people might reject just because my language is not up to the mark? So this was all my inner head. But when I went to an interview or even on this consulting business, I've never faced that. So that is something is like breaking the barriers. Yes, it is like surrounding us. There are a lot of people who will tell about us in such a way. We shouldn't really take that into heart, because once you have consumed what other people say, you can't really go forward at all. That's the two differences within. Coming to the part of women as well, in 3 different countries, there is different level in consulting business they belong to. Whereas in UK, like certain interviews, I was rejected just because I was a woman. And how do I know it? If people say it's my assumption? No, when I went and asked people who are working there and everyone, they were saying, yeah, this is how it is. And I've read some Glassdoor reviews. That's where I felt like, when there's a rejection, it's for a good reason, because you don't want to be part of a place where really you are not valued.
Of course. Of course. That's quite important, isn't
Yeah.
it? Oh, this is quite a journey, actually.
Yeah,
It's
indeed.
quite a lot of learning for yourself
Yeah.
and having to block out the noise
Yeah.
to try to overcome the challenges and fight through all of that to get to where you are today. So, can I ask whether being a woman of colour has shaped your experience of leadership?
Yes, it does. Because when being a woman of color, every person has a different leadership style. And specifically, I ensure I shouldn't have conscious bias. So that's the main thing which I always work. And I won't be very hard on myself saying it's on me. It's the way I've been brought up, the culture, and everything is rooted. I would always think it should be 100% perfect. But no person is 100% perfect. You should be disciplined. But then in my journey, I felt that imperfection is what makes it beautiful.
Have you ever been in a room where you are the only woman of colour?
Yes, I have. I should share you a story. It was very difficult. More than I say woman of color, I was the only woman in the room. I felt very nervous. At the same time, I felt it's like very hardly we get an opportunity, and I shouldn't really stop myself to be in a place where there are 15 male representatives and I'm the only woman. And there's going to be all senior stakeholders over there. And I felt very scared even to express my thought, because the first few times when I used to start, someone will interrupt me. And I felt like already I'm very nervous. And if the moment when I start, someone is going to interrupt me, I will lose confidence. And this happened like twice or thrice. And I told them, if you can give me a chance to speak, I could summarize my point of view. They just kept on talking with themselves, and they never even considered me, even my thoughts, or even my voice.
And that's after challenging.
Yeah. I did have tears in my eyes. Then I decided, let me own the room. I think my voice is not audible. So let me raise my voice and say, guys, this is where I want to represent my view. I think you guys been talking about this for 3 or 4 times. I have a better solution, and this is where I want to take it. And then they paused and they turned to my side and they were saying, okay, so what do you have different? And immediately they lashed to me, we are all twice the experience of yours. So just because we gave you a room, it doesn't mean you need to have your opinion. So that really made my inner voice saying, Nithya, I think at any moment you will break down, so don't break down. And I said, it's fine. I'm grateful that you gave me the space, but I believe that I can give you my findings and you can tell me whether it really makes sense or not. If it doesn't make sense, it's fine. At least I will be in the position like I made my point. Then after that, in that meeting, I did speak and everyone left the meeting. We never had a discussion. But the next meeting, the CFO called me to that senior stakeholder meeting, and they told me, we have given you a 5-minute slot, and please let me know what's your view from the last meeting.
So interesting. Being assertive, but being knocked down for that.
Yeah.
Actually, in another way, gave you a result. It's that step and that platform
Exactly.
for your voice to be heard. What else do you think has helped you navigate within those type of spaces?
So mainly don't get your thoughts to be very clouded during that situation, is because when you start thinking, I'm the only person in the room, or I'm the only woman in the room, or I'm the woman in color in the room, naturally you will feel very lost.
So it's coming out of your own head.
Yes.
Yeah, taking the attention away from yourself.
Because that will help you to have a free flow conversation. Otherwise, you will be always thinking someone else is judging you. Really, I think that's the takeaway which I took in that many experiences which I had or encountered. Don't take that all into your head and just move ahead.
And out of curiosity, what's really worked for you as a female leader?
Good question. So as a female leader, I think I found the right essence which really worked with me. I don't go only by intelligent quotient. I go by emotional quotient as well. I need a team or a set of people who has the right balance of IQ and EQ. What I have done, if people are really struggling, I given them the space to come and talk to me rather than just shutting off. No, that doesn't help, because they are with us more than their family. And I should really respect them and at the same time give them that environment to have that healthy conversations.
So I assume that a lot of your skills and qualities come from your experiences then. So being able to relate to some of the struggles that other people might be facing, and how you're best, I guess, positioned to help and support somebody else to grow. So let's move on to explore your experience in the fintech and consulting industries. Both of them have been traditionally heavily male dominated. Is this something that you're still seeing today?
There are certain sectors, definitely, where we feel it's heavily male dominated. And someone made this comment, a woman should be very good in the front office jobs rather than the technical jobs. According to me, is like it could be their perception, but I feel almost whomsoever I'm seeing or with the higher management levels, they have the same perception. That's because most women doesn't pursue technology as well. So that's why they are having that mindset of feeling mostly women are not there in the fintech or consulting industries. That's why it's heavily male driven. Then, adding to that, it's a pressure. There's a lot of pressure in the job. So whether women can handle that pressure is another question. We always see that from the other side of the coin and we say we are not given a chance and everything, but it's a high stakes job and it has pressure. Is it every woman, is it really they are ready? It's not that I'm telling is less of any other person. It's a lot of struggle and there is a lot of peace is lost as well in their personal life. So there should be a right balance. That's when they can succeed. And I have seen a few fintech leaders as well, women fintech leaders, they are very strong in personality. So that's something which they have to keep in mind. Is like you need to be very bold and strong because you have to see who's your opposition as well. And you have to always have that balance in saying, I can handle it. And I mean by over here to be arrogant or aggressive. It is more about how you should have the clarity, vision. And at the same time, there could be 10,000 plates spinning across you, but you shouldn't lose your calmness and peace. That's what I mean by bold and strong. And it is not about the physical, it's not about how they look, it is more about how they can handle the situations, especially the conflicting situations.
So it takes somebody who has to be quite strong.
Yeah,
being able to balance that personal life.
exactly.
Because I guess that's the extra layer that some women face as well.
Yeah,
Having to separate themselves between
exactly.
the work and home. So what do you think needs to change or be implemented for more women to take up leadership positions within particularly the consulting world?
First, they have to break their barriers to come out.
Their internal barriers.
Yes.
Okay.
And then don't try to limit yourself saying leadership is a journey. You need to have that journey that you will be able to see the struggles and that will shape you. So that's where is important because people think when it's leadership, I should have 100 people in the team. I should have the boardroom. No, that's not the way the leadership works. It starts from a little thing. If I can give an instance, it's like I was not really into leadership. I was just as a normal any other team member, but there was a situation where everyone felt nice to be in the passenger seat and no one wants to go to the driver's seat. So that's how was the situation. And it was a very crisis time. And I was a person who came into front and said, it's okay. We can handle it. We can see how it's going to work. So that's how you step up when there is going to be crisis rather than you feel it's not my problem. So these little things will help you to go towards your goal, shapes your leadership skills. You should start with small and naturally it will lead to the big picture.
So feeling ownership for something small and then building on from there.
Exactly. And that's where a leadership journey will be really useful. Otherwise, you will feel like everything will be a struggle and you won't enjoy it. It's not about promotion. It's not about you feeling, I have this title will make me into a leader. No, there is a lot of structure. There's a framework for it to happen. But it is all about your skills as well. Interpersonal skills also matters a lot because technical domain, you might be very strong, but how much is your interpersonal skills align with it? That makes into you a better leader.
So it's that expectation versus reality.
Yes. And as you said, is like, what could we do to make this industry into like more women leadership? The schools and colleges, which I've done in women and tech as well. The STEM education is very important. They have to start their technology sector and then have more conversations. Then from consulting, women leaders can go and speak in as a guest speaker and give their experience that will inspire them. And followed by that, you should start exploring the different horizons rather than just saying is like, I'm able to do this, XYZ, I'm paid, and that's it. You should always get to the crux of it rather than just seeing the outliers of it and feeling is like I'm satisfied with it. And that will help. And consulting has different dimensions and you have to see where it is and where is the niche. That's very important to see. It could be in fintech or as a consulting company, you have to see where is that niche you belong to and try to explore that space. And that will be really useful in your journey.
Oh, it's wonderful. Let's touch on a little bit about the Presenting with Presence workshop that you attended with us. How did you find that?
It was very exciting. And I could say in the Presenting with Presence workshop, if I remember, I think we had a lot of emotional meltdown.
It's a safe space. For you.
Exactly. That is the first time I could say is that my vulnerability was exposed, and it is needed, and you have to just put your veil down. That facade doesn't really help you. That's where I think that presence workshop made a difference. To me, it's fine. You can make a mistake. It's okay.
You don't have to be polished all the time.
Exactly. And that really gave us that feeling. It's about connecting. It's an heartwarming journey, I could see. That really shaped my leadership journey as well. That was a very important part where I could definitely say my confidence, the way I sit, the postures, and how much you need to do for a presentation. And when I'm speaking to you, how presence I should be. There's a lot of aspects to it.
And learning from that, what's shifted for you, and what does presence now mean to you in high stakes situations? You talked about the presence and confidence being some of the things that you were able to extract from the program. How is that now showing up in situations that you're in?
So there could be chaos in your work, but you can be calm. That is something I've learned. I've tried mastering it. There could be n number of things which has been there. You should have that clarity, and you should remain calm and don't lose your composure. And then mainly when I'm going to have a senior stakeholder meetings, if anyone throws at you or humiliate you or insult you, it's not on you.
It's a reflection on them.
That's how I've taken that personally. And you need to believe yourself. You can't expect others to believe in yourself if you don't believe. So these things really help me, and I love multitasking. I honestly tell you, I love multitasking. Even in a presentation, I'll be going left and but I learned you need to be present when you are in any meeting. You need to be present. You need to give them the undivided attention. That's very important. And being vulnerable is not your weakness. If someone says that's weakness, then it's up to them, but it definitely shows more authentic about you, and you have unfiltered emotions.
That's really powerful. It's good modeling.
Yeah.
It's a really powerful stance for people to follow. And I guess it also encourages them to be vulnerable as well, to try something. Doesn't feel very comfortable, but it's okay. If something doesn't work, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
And this helps in your, if I have to translate into consulting, this helps their productivity. This helps that they feel any personal problems they are struggling, they need not keep it within themselves. They can come and share to a safe space, and no one will be judged.
It's a learning experience, I suppose, as well. Not just for others, but for you.
That's the main thing I feel is like we always think about others and we forget about ourselves. And there's more about validation, what Fatima thinks, what X thinks, what everyone thinks, but what Nithya thinks. She has a lot in herself. She knows a lot about herself rather than others.
And I guess that's the unseen that needs to be at the forefront as well. So sometimes we forget that. So I'm really interested to hear about what outside of work has shaped how you lead today.
Yes. So this is very personal to me. It is it's my mom and my brother, because I think we come from a very difficult childhood, and during that period we dealt with a lot of crises and conflicts, but I think both of them, they managed very easily with a smile. So maybe that's why I took that inspiration from them, and I believe the future leadership program was a game changer. And I was vulnerable, and then I improved that skills due to the past incidents in my life where I felt I lost confidence completely. So all these things where I felt, whenever I feel like I have no one and all this, there were many situations where people told us like, you lost your confidence. You're not confident as you were before because of when I lost my dad. So that's where I felt like there is something gone wrong. I'm not as usual. Then I enrolled myself into a confidence workshop. People will feel a confidence workshop, really? Because I really wanted to know where do I lack. And then I uncovered a lot of stuff in that workshop. I felt that's where I felt like I found my limiting beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
which was really suppressing me. And I, somewhere on the line, had a lot of self doubt and didn't really think about what Nithya feels, which I was saying you in the previous question. I was more about everyone else I was thinking, and I put myself at last. So these were things which I felt which shaped me to lead today. And I've taken consideration everywhere, wherever possible. I take inspiration from the leaders as well. So as today I'm speaking with you, definitely I've taken that inspiration. You are a calm and composed person with a beautiful smile. And at the same time, in like I always liked about Indra Nooyi, where I always look as a person who I draw inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
how I lead and everything. And there are few heroes in my life, as I mentioned personally, my mom and brother. There are other friends where you always see is like, they are my blessing, which I have next to me, and my husband as well. So I feel they are the ones who shape outside my work life, and how I lead is like they all play an important role.
They anchor you, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they're the people
Yeah.
who stand by you, who know you,
Yeah,
not just professionally but personally as well.
exactly.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's really nice. That's really lovely to hear. Now, can I ask, what advice would you give to women who are looking to get into leadership?
So there is something very keenly I would have told. Grab every little opportunity which is given to you. Don't ever think, I need a bigger opportunity. The little opportunity can change you into a bigger one. Then you should evaluate based on the skill and not based on the color.
Mm.
It could be color, race, or gender, or ethnicity. That shouldn't be the judgment at all. It should be always based on the skills.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So this idea of diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being at the top. And lastly, if someone listening would like to get into leadership, but they don't quite feel like they belong, what insights and tips would you give to them?
What insights and tips I would give to them is first do a intro perspective about yourself. So when you feel like you don't belong in the room, see how could you directly address it rather than just suppressing that emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you get a chance, if you want to be in the room, just speak openly. Always open conversation is much appreciated rather than we feel and try to speak everything on your head.
Mm-hmm.
Just come out and have that talk that will help you. And more than that, do more networking as well.
Yeah.
That's very important. And express your emotions and thoughts and whatever you want in any social forum. Well, so these are the things where you will really shape to find your space in whichever room it is. You'll be really being given a chance. It's like it speaks a lot about what skills you have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Before I stop, is there anything else that you would like me to explore with you, or anything else that you'd like to say?
So I was thinking about to say is like, remember the world won't always clap for you. So learn to clap for yourself and keep moving.
Thank you so much to our host and guest for today's conversation, and thank you for listening to Claiming Space. We hope it's given you something to think about or something to take away with you. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. You can also connect with us and continue the conversation on our social channels. Just search for us and follow along. Until next time, keep claiming your space.